Hola. The following question, well, this subscriber has written a big piece. It's a she. Well, no man has that name, so I'm going to focus on the second part of her question. She talks about transgenerational violence. Why, when you're born again, the generation curses aren't automatically lifted from you. Understand this. When you become born again, you are saved. Okay? That's what happened. But understand, your thinking has not been transformed yet. You have not been renewed in your mind yet. So your mind is still operating in darkness. And your body has acclimatized to the darkness around you. And you were synchronized with the world around you. So now that you're born again, now you need to get out of that by agreeing with Christ. And you need to understand this about transgenerational violence. It isn't just you, okay? If you are from a contentious society where you have different groups that are rivaling against one another, where you have the Catholics against the Protestants, Protestants against the liberals against the atheists or whatever. If you have a society where there's a lot of contention, when you become born again, you're still in that society. And people still have claims upon you. And people still see you in a certain way, and they will treat you in a certain way. So practically, you becoming born again does not annul those other people being in the negative. However, them being in the negative does not cancel out you being saved. But just because you're born again doesn't mean that now they are saved also. No. We are commanded to be renewed in our mind so that we are in agreement with our salvation that we have been given by the Heavenly Father. Okay? So that's why when you become born again and you are going through your deliverance process, that's why you get so much resistance. Because people don't want you to be free. For you to be free means that the status quo is challenged. And that status quo is the collective relief people holding on to. So when you don't contribute to that collective relief, they perceive you as a threat. Okay, let me go to the question again. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's say now you have someone that grew up in a household where people were relatively at ease and they had a relaxed mindset, more relaxed than the people of the world, more relaxed than many believers. The question that she asked was, I know where she's coming from. Are those people still lost? Yes, they're lost. But you need to understand now, the relief-centered mindset of worldly people is enmity against the Most High Himself. And not all worldly people express this enmity the same way. Not everyone is burning crosses or, let me say, or becoming an atheist and all of that. The self-centered point of view of worldly people is enmity against the Most High. It's negative. And you have people who are, let me say, they have a relaxed thinking when it comes to their relief-centeredness. And such people who are more relaxed in their self-centeredness, they may appear Christ-like. But they are not Christ-like. And here's another thing. Often what we consider Christ-like is not Christ-like at all. It's just what we consider comfortable or socially acceptable. And because it's socially acceptable is being backed up by Bible verses, we consider that Christ-like. So when we see people like that, we think they're very Christ-like. No. Look at what the Most High Himself considers Christ-like, not what you think is Christ-like. There are people in the world who have good instincts that exist. But here's the thing. Those good instincts are not in line with Christ. So those good instincts, even though they are fine and they're not evil in themselves, because they're not in agreement with Christ, they will operate in those good instincts and rely upon them instead of relying upon the Most High. So that's idolatry. And when they do this, evil spirits can use them to support evil projects without them being aware of it. So renewing of the mind is very important. Okay. Okay, I think this one is very important, but I'll make a separate video of it. Be at peace.